Yeah, today was an improvement execution-wise over yesterday. It was almost like we came off a bye. Some of the starters obviously were off for almost 4 days, having not played in the game. So I was a lot more pleased with what we put on the field today.
Can you let people that know that maybe aren't as familiar with the game, Scott, what that means with better than, like, in which areas do you improve? What are those kinds of things that maybe a guy would look rusty at and wasn't today?
Just the focus wasn't as good as it normally is. There's a little bit of a lull. The energy level's not as high. You know, just a little bit of rustiness, to be honest with you. It just wasn't crisp.
Looked like there's some very good patterns by the receivers out there. A couple nice deep ones to Dunbar, for instance.
I thought they had a good day. I always say that, hedging my bets until I see the film. But again, it was a lot better practice, particularly offensively. I didn't think it was a great practice yesterday offensively.
It's the first game of the season. Over time, this team has not done that well in the first game. How important? And I realize every game is as important as the other one when it comes to the standings. But in terms of the first game, is there anything about want to win it more than any other game, other than the fact that it's the next game up?
It's always nice to get off to a good start, but like you said, at the end of the year when you count them all up, they're all going to be equal. You don't want to give away any opportunities, and the momentum that comes with starting fast lasts only a week, but it is momentum, and that's what we're aiming to do.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked before about this dividing the season into thirds. So if you get one of the first 6, you're sort of ahead there.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm talking to those guys, I'm talking in terms of 1 week. Now, we always do talk about the thirds, and you've got to kind of earn that fourth quarter. But for us to be successful as a team, and what we preach is we've got to be in the moment, be where our feet are. And that means just concentrating on this week and then starting all over next week. If you don't win, you flush it. If you do win, you flush it and you move on. And the thing I talked to him about today was we're getting a lot of extra work by players in the meeting rooms. The meeting rooms are filled before meeting hours, after hours. They're doing everything. They're leaving nothing to chance. And that's great, and it's appreciated. And the consistency of that throughout the course of a season, win, lose, short week, long week, coming off a bye, that's what we need to see the whole year.
Every minute, every day of every week, people here focus on Bo. What from him today?
I thought Bo was much more sharp today than he was yesterday. I thought he threw the ball well. I thought he made good decisions. Again, without having watched the practice, I thought he was sharp.
Generally, teams, when they fly to Calgary from the east, fly in the day before the game. You're going a day and a half, maybe. Reason for that?
It's twofold. It helps you kind of acclimate to the time change. It's a late game, so it's 9 o'clock kickoff East Coast time for our guys. It's also the reason why we, had the night scrimmage, was to try to get our guys used to sitting around all day and then having to come out and play a night game. The other reason is this is our one public transportation flight this year, and so that takes a little bit more out of guys. It's a little bit more of a hassle, and just gives us a little bit extra time to get settled in Calgary.
Finally, the history in Calgary for this franchise has not been that great, but last time they were there, they did win the game, and it was a very key game. What is it that makes it so difficult to play in Calgary? I mean, they've had great teams most of those years. I mean, it was 18 years before they won the previous one.
Yeah, I wasn't here for any of those, obviously. I don't take a lot of stock in it. I think if I was to answer your question without the knowledge behind those games, it would be what you said. They've been one of the flagship franchises. Dave and Huff have done an amazing job of just reloading year after year, and they're well coached and they have good players. So more than anything, I don't know if it's a venue. I think it's their football team.
One thing in the last 10 seasons there is that I think they've played 15 or 16 games between the two teams, and 10 or 12 of them come down to the last 3 minutes, and 10 of them have been by 6 or 7 points. One bounce here, an interception there, a run back there. Those are when you harp on that kind of, not harp's the wrong word, but you talk about the play that could make a difference, and you don't know which one it is.
You don't. I mean, they're all equally important, just like each game's equally important, and that's where the consistency of effort and focus comes into play. And sometimes you're a little bit slow on those things early in the season. That's why we're really concentrating on the fundamentals, knowing what we're doing, understanding our alignment, our assignment, and any adjustment that we have, and we're going to try to go out and just play fast.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.